Hello and welcome back to Victory Financial Fitness. I'm your host, Jocelyn Victoria. And today we are continuing with our weekly theme of Decide in Advance. Today is Fresh Start Friday. Let's try that again. Fresh Start Friday. If you have had a week where things went sideways and things as far as tracking your expenses in YNAB didn't go as planned, you know what? Friday is a great day to simply give yourself grace and give yourself a fresh start. That is easy to do in YNAB. If you have not done so before, there's other videos that we offer that go through that process. I will do my best to put a link in the description below to help you if you need to see that video. Also, what we're talking about today, while my new kitten is screeching in the background, is allocation of your categories. And that's a fancy way to say simply deciding what jobs your money is going to have. For example, how much of your resources are going to go toward transportation or utilities or housing or groceries and provisions. It's simply setting out in advance, deciding in advance how much of those resources go where. So let's take a look at YNAB. Now, this is not a fresh start YNAB. It's one that's already established, but we're just going to jump in here and take a look at it. So this setup shows us that we have $344 ready to assign, and you can see right here in this big green bubble at the top. So that means that until our next, the next time we receive funding or our next paycheck or whatever the case may be, this is what we have to work with. And so what we're doing is we're planning ahead. We're deciding in advance where those funds are going to go. So let's take a look at the categories that are available and what we have already assigned. We have what we talk about a lot on this channel is grace funds, meaning you're going to have a separate category within your YNAB for those miscalculations so that you've got a little wiggle room. You've got a little margin for error. Now, right now, there's $18.41 of grace funds, and we actually haven't spent any of that. If we're comfortable with that, that's great. Let's move forward. Let's take a look at groceries. That category tends to be the most underfunded and the most overspent. So a little more margin wiggle room in that category, probably a really good idea. So let's bump that one to 200. That's going to take $100 off of what is available to us now. And now there's $107.93 available to, to do that. Now, when I look at that number, 107.93, that is a hard number to remember. But if I round this number up to $200.07, I don't have to remember that number anymore because that available number just became 108, which is a lot easier to remember than the previous number. So think about that as you're allocating these funds, as you're giving these jobs to your resources, to your dollars, what they're going to do. Looking at transportation, there's nothing available in transportation. If you need a tank of gas, there's no money assigned to it. So let's put an extra $50 in that category. And let's have a little margin for our next purchase. Rent or mortgage, when is that coming due and how much is it? Now, in a perfect world, our rent would be $150. I don't know if that's the rent that's you're obligated to, but we're going to put some funding in that category so that we have something to work with. Now we've got $18 in grace funds. There's no electric bill paid on this. When the next resources come in, that's going to need to be the next thing that's paid because we do our 4 walls. We keep a roof over our head. We keep food in the fridge. Well, I should say we keep food in the fridge and then we keep a roof over our head. We keep gas in the car and we keep the lights on. So those are our 4 walls of what we need to make sure that we are funding first. And that's why it's up under this category group of essentials. So that's what it looks like to decide in advance of where your spending dollars are going to go. And then when you're on the go with YNAB, you have the YNAB app on your phone that will show exactly what this shows, only in a more mobile friendly space. And that way, as you're going along, as you are making those purchasing decisions, you can keep up with them one by one. Just simply take a few seconds as your call from our Wednesday visit. Take a few seconds before you leave that parking lot, before you leave that merchant, not in the parking lot, but safely in your car or safely in the store. Enter that transaction if you have a linked account and it's being downloaded. Once it's downloaded, get in there and categorize it so that you remember, okay, it was at Walmart, but was it food or clothing? I don't know. For myself, if it's been more than 24 or 48 hours, who knows what it could be? So get in there and get those things categorized so that you know what jobs those dollars are doing, what funds you have available left in those categories. That's it for Friday wrap up. I encourage you to keep those transactions up to date in YNAB. I am available for YNAB coaching. If you need further information on that, there is a link in the description box below. I serve women who are motivated to learn and use YNAB. You do not have to have familiarity with YNAB. If you do, that's great. But I am so excited to help anyone who with the motivation to move forward with YNAB to keep their finances in order with a minimal investment of time per week. So I leave you with that. And please remember, in the meantime, that resources tracked diligently stretch further. And please take time each day to make a joyful noise to the Lord. I'll see you next time. Bye.